So my name is Mikael Svenson. I'm the CTO at Puzzlepart consultancy out of Norway, do Office 365 and have fun. So I started with SharePoint development against SharePoint 2003, against WSS actually, using the web services, because I was creating a search crawler and I knew nothing about SharePoint, but I was crawling SharePoint. And after that, I've been doing just about any part of SharePoint development, except the add-in model, well, which I tried during one vacation, but the add-in model doesn't really work. So I guess I've probably spent more time than I wanted to on SharePoint Framework, since I've been part of it since the beta. So most of my development these days is actually SharePoint Framework. So do web parts, extensions on multiple clients. So yeah, gotten quite well into it. So I actually like the SharePoint Framework, but I had done client-side development before, so we sort of switched to doing client-side development before the SharePoint Framework came out. So the switch wasn't that hard. I don't like Webpack and Gulp and all that, but they sort of package that away for me, which is good. So actually I just have a small command called ship it, which just packs and ships everything and uploads it. So every time I build, I ship it, and then hopefully it works. Yeah, so I just took a look at the roadmap. It's not too much there, I guess. So I'm hoping we will get some new stuff. So when I did the beta back in Brussels at the Dev Kitchen, so we had custom SharePoint Framework on display forms, edit form, new form, and full page apps. So I hope that gets back. So I hope Power Apps is not the solution for custom forms, because if you modify something on the list, the form just breaks. So I hope we will get some more stuff going in on the lists actually. So my favorite part, or web part, has to be the modern script editor web part, which happens to be the #1 third-party web part installed in all the tenants. So that's actually a quite fun project to make. Sort of inception, I guess, JavaScript and JavaScript. But I think TypeScript, getting the IntelliSense Visual Studio Code, I actually like the toolchain much better than Visual Studio. It's quicker to start once you have bootstrapped your project, which takes a little bit of time, but just grab a cup of coffee. So yeah, I think it's pretty good actually. So I would like to add a better way to upgrade to newer versions or newer drops of SharePoint Framework. It's a hassle figuring out which PM packages should you update, new version number, and then nuking your node modules folder, figuring out what other config files you need to diff the different, well, a new project with your old to figure out. That's the need to do something there. I'm not sure I would actually change anything. I think it works pretty good. But I guess it might be hard for people. I mean, if they haven't done a lot of JavaScript and client-side development, it's hard getting into SharePoint Framework. It's a new concept. I've attended a couple of hackathons and helping out, and I say, well, just React is a hurdle for people because I haven't done React, and then they just need to learn a new model or a new UI framework. That's hard for some people. So we have a pretty good SharePoint Framework drop right now. Future-wise, I think adoption will rise. I see more and more people, at least in Oslo, Norway area, doing more and more SharePoint Framework and releasing that. I think, and I hope they will have a clear roadmap and then continue doing not just minor drops, but major drops, getting more solutions in there. I hope they will sort of make the feature they already have better instead of just pushing new features all the time as well. So I think better regression would be nice. So I hope that's on the roadmap to increase on the regression. So I guess for my advice for developers starting to look at the SharePoint Framework would be to go into the GitHub/SharePoint and look at all the sample repositories. There's samples for extensions, web parts, solutions, using React, using jQuery, just different frameworks. Just take a look at the different samples and see how they're actually made and just pull down the code and test them. And that's a good way to get started.